Welcome to All Things Possible TV. I'm excited to have you here with me and to be going through another session that we can talk about things in your life. And we've talked several times about service and what we can do for others and the difference we can make in our world. And today I'm so excited because I have my guest Shaylee Hatch, who is here from Napa, Idaho with me. And I am just so impressed with her story, and I'm so excited to have her here as my guest and be able to tell her story and how she came to do the things that she's doing. She's 20 years old and has her own nonprofit and is just phenomenal at doing good for others. And so I want to be able to share her story with you and also give you that little bit of a drive that really anybody can do things like this. It's just doing it and having that inspiration to make a difference for others in their lives. And she is completely that for me and has been such an example and made such a difference in her own hometown and her own area. So we're going to just jump right in and let you hear some of her story, how she got involved, how she got started, and where she's headed, and how you can help her too. We're excited to have her nonprofit as something that we endorse and that we want to help her with. You know, this is All Things Possible, and I really truly believe that all things are possible for everyone. And with your help, she will have all things possible for her organization as well. So this is Shaylee Hatch. Shaylee, tell us a little bit about you and how you got started in this. What began your drive to help others?
Well, my drive began my freshman year of high school. I had a friend who had leukemia, and she lost her 2-year battle with leukemia. And we were in the hospital a lot visiting her during that time. And seeing the families really touched my heart. I can't explain how much it touched my heart. They had 6 sick kids, and they were worried about medical bills and house payments. And to me, it just didn't seem right. And I was only a freshman, so at first I was kind of thinking, what can I do about that? But I really wanted to do something. So we started doing little fundraisers here and there. And it blew my mind that all things are possible. You can really make a difference if you just decide to.
That's exciting because you know my story. My son had cancer when he was 9, and we, as a family, he was my oldest. And so I can totally understand where you're at with seeing this. And until you've been there, you really don't understand that happens to so many families. And it's so prevalent because the medical bills just keep growing. We even had to sell our home and live in a trailer for a year while we built another home. And so it can be astronomical expenses. Right. And so that's neat that you were able to share in your drive to make a difference and enroll others to help you raise money. And with your community. Tell us about your community.
My community amazed me. I wish I could I loved that moment when I realized how giving people are. What we did is we went out and in front of local grocery stores, we stood out and had pictures of the kids and kind of just a little bit of a vision of what we wanted to have happen in this fundraising event. And we were able to raise over $3,000 in just a few days. And not only that, but we had cart full of toys and books and things for these kids. Because when you're sick and you're sitting in there, how fun is it to get new things? You know what I mean?
Right.
And if you're financially not set off, your parents can't always give that to you. So it was just so awesome to be able to do any little thing.
Well, and as people, even as children, we love gifts.
Yeah.
And how it makes us feel. And when we're sitting in the hospital, that's even more. I mean, how many times do we take flowers and gifts? Every time we go visit someone, we take them something. And so that's really neat that you were able to give that to the other kids.
Right.
Because it really makes their day brighter, makes them have a happier time while they're there.
Right. And I know I can't do much as far as I don't have the cure or any of that stuff, but if I can help them even a little bit along the way, nothing's better than that. Nothing's more powerful than that.
Right. Well, and I can tell you from being there with my son, it makes a big difference. It really does affect how their story goes.
Right.
So you were able to give this family money.
Yes.
And help with their medical bills. And even though she passed away and that she didn't win her battle, with leukemia, you were still able to help that family, and you were still able to give and involve the community. That's so neat. And then you stepped right into another story, so let's hear about this story.
Well, this little boy, his name is Grant Davis. He is so dear to my heart. He has cerebral palsy. He was born with it, and he is the oldest of 5 children. And his mom's a stay-at-home mom, and the youngest child is about 2 months old at the time. And she would have to manually lift him up out of bed, put him in the wheelchair, push him around everywhere, while having all of these other kids at home. And I heard their story through church, and again, I was like, man, what can I, what steps do I take to help this out? I know I needed to do it, though. So we did the same kind of approach. We stood outside of our local grocery store, and $4,000 in 2 days just with that.
Wow.
People are so giving when they know about a cause, when they hear about something, when they see the impact of it. Like, it took 2 days of my time to get him this. And it's not just a regular wheelchair. If you can see, he stands up. He can only use a couple of his fingers on his left hand. So this is allowing him to take care of himself more, to help his mom too. That's 2 days of my time impacted that family. I can't express how much that means to me.
Well, and I love that you said how giving people are, because really people want to give. People want to help.
They do.
There are so many good people out there. They just don't know where to start. Right. And it takes someone that wants to lead and show people how you can make that difference and be that person to really get out there and do it, that really gets other people enrolled and involved. Right. We, it's interesting that you tell that he's the oldest child and this mother. During cancer, the chemotherapy had killed the muscles in my son's legs. And so for a couple of months, I had 2 kids in the hospital, my daughter that was just 18 months old and my son. And so I would have to get into the hospital just to get the wheelchair and everything. So since he was quite tall, I'd have to piggyback him, but he had lost 58 pounds. So I'm piggybacking this little stick man on my back. And our bag of clothes were on his back. And I have a front pack with my baby that's 18 months old that had head surgery also. And I'm packing in like the playpen and the stuff we have to take into the hospital. And, I can just imagine this mother, with it being her oldest child, having to try to struggle with everything that she had to do every day. So I totally have empathy for this family, because it is so tough.
There. Right.
And you were able to change that whole thing so that he could do things for himself and feel so much better about himself, because he
can do it. Yeah.
He could do it for himself. And that is just the value in his life that you were able to add for that, and those that helped you in donating and creating a way for that. So that's exciting. So let's go to your next step.
Perfect. Well,
tell us about this.
So I was in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho at a retreat for Idaho Drug for Youth, which is a nonprofit organization in Idaho. It's really big there. And they help teens realize the harmful effects drugs and alcohol have at a young age on your body. It's really powerful. It's in all of the high schools around there and middle schools. It's an awesome organization that I was very lucky to be a part of. And I met the author of the book actually at the conference. He was speaking there. He's from Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
And his little slogan is Motivator of the Millennium. He says, it's not impossible, but I'm possible. And I heard that, and I talked to him after and kind of was like, wow, I really appreciated that, because I feel like what I'm trying to do is impossible sometimes. And we just got to talking, and he said, I'm going to have you be highlighted in a book that I'm writing. I was blown away. I didn't know what to say to that. I was so honored. And there's 6 other young people in this book. And all of us run our own nonprofits or businesses to help other people. So,
and how old were you at this point?
I was 18.
That
18 at this
is
point.
so phenomenal. Okay, so tell me about once the book was published and how that was, because I know you had some really exciting things happen from there.
Yes, it was a big whirlwind, and as far as that went, I got to go on speaking tours from Idaho. I've never been outside of Idaho, Utah, or Arizona, and I got to fly to New York City.
Wow.
To speak at Reverend Al Sharpton's event, and I got to go to Atlanta, Georgia, and Savannah, Georgia, Alabama. It was amazing. I have never done anything like that in my life before.
That is so exciting.
Yeah.
And so now you're a published author, and you've got a book out there with some stories about you. And with some other phenomenal youth, making
Yes.
huge, huge differences.
Yes. Just to be in the same book as these other youth was so inspiring to me, because they really do inspire me every day when I hear their stories as well. Sometimes I don't connect with some other kids my age, my old friends, or any of that stuff, just because we're so different. But to have that little group, it's been incredible. It's a good networking thing for all of us as well. And
Right.
when we have a hard time, as far as like when people don't take us seriously for our age or any of that, we can all connect to that, and not many people can. So it's really powerful.
That's interesting that you say that because of your age. I have a son that received earned his master's degree before he was 21,
Ooh.
which was pretty phenomenal.
That's impressive.
And even the people in the financial world didn't want to take him serious. And he definitely had areas where he could have been in positions, but they were like, but you're only 21. So I know how that age,
Right.
really discrimination, but it's because people don't know just how powerful you are, and they are used to the average of how people could be. And when there's someone that's extraordinary and that's making such a difference, you really wonder, like, are they really able to do this? And you probably, like me, are like, where is this going? This is kind of scary, and I'm not positive what I'm doing, but I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to trust and have my passion just take off and make a difference. And that's so cool.
It's been awesome. I love it. You really need to live your passion. That's one thing I've learned in these last few months. It's powerful. When you live your passion, anything is possible.
You're right. And that's my all things is possible is so true. And so tell us about being big wig in the news. Napa girl achieves big goals.
Actually, when this article came out, I was in New York City speaking, and I was so excited to be, it was an honor to be in part of the Press Tribune there in Idaho. They told my story. They told Grant's story first, and then they told about the book. And really in Idaho, nobody knew what I was doing yet. I was telling my story in Atlanta or everywhere else, and then people in Idaho were like, what are you doing with your life? So that was really cool for me to be able to have people around my community know what was going on with my life.
And get them caught up to what was really happening, because like you said, a whirlwind going on. Okay, so now we're going to go from all of this that's happened. You've been in the news, you've got a book, you've been able to raise money and make a difference, get a wheelchair. All these things have led you up to what you're doing now. So tell us about the passion that you have now and your nonprofit that you've got going. You're CEO and founder.
Yes.
And that's phenomenal. You're 20 years old, so that is so awesome. But tell us about that.
Temporary home means everything to me. I can't express how much it means to me personally. What temporary home is, our mission is to aid to the kids that are aging out of foster care systems. A lot of people don't realize that 65% of the kids that age out of foster care at age 18 are automatically homeless. Now, not just that, but they're in foster care because they don't have family. So imagine if their car broke down, who would they call if they don't have close friends? Who would they call for help with money? It's when you're 18, you're out. That was unexcusable when I heard about it. I could not figure that out. There was something I had to do, and it's my biggest passion ever. And just seeing these kids and hearing their stories is enough drive for me to keep going forever, and I will definitely succeed in this, because hearing these kids and seeing their potential, even if they don't see it at first, they have so much potential, and their life experiences that they've had so far in their lives it just flourishes them, you know?
Right. Well, and every 18-year-old, as they get out of high school and they make that next step, that is a trying time for every single person that's 18. Your senior year, you're all of a sudden like, what am I going to do? And it's all of a sudden there's lots of choices and lots of things and what do you want to be?
Right.
And then, like you said, you get in the foster system and it's, okay, so here you go, and now you're on the street. And there's not very many 18-year-olds that could financially support themselves alone that just could do it without having, some support. And like you said, a family. We have been certified in foster care and had my nephew. Right. And I know exactly what you're talking about, because at 18, they can be on their own. So tell us about how that looks for you. What are you able to do with your foundation?
Awesome. Well, we have programs set in place, and one of them is for finances. And what that means is a lot of these young adults don't know how to do finances. So if we gave them some money to go grocery shopping, for instance, one boy bought only candy because it looked good to him, but he didn't realize you need substantial food.
That's what he wanted.
Exactly. So we just teach them how to take care of themselves. That's number one. And teach them that they really can accomplish anything. It doesn't matter of your past. If you have a passion and you want to do something, decide it and go for it. That's the most powerful thing that we can teach these kids. That
Exactly.
It doesn't matter where you come from. It doesn't matter your age. Success is a choice. It's a decision, and it doesn't matter. And I think that's my number one goal, is to really teach these kids that and show them and help them be successful in their lives.
That's so true, because the decision is the beginning of moving forward. And it doesn't matter what's happened in the past.
No.
It's what's next, what's in the beginning,
Exactly.
where's this going to take us? And I love that you're educating and teaching them, because you're right.
Mm-hmm.
They go to the store and they buy what they want. Candy, toys,
Yeah.
whatever is the thing that they want at the time. And a lot of times they don't think about, oh, well, this would be a lot cheaper, or I could make this cheaper if I cooked it. And so education is a big piece
Right.
of how to do that. And what do you do after that?
After that, our vision is to have a apartment complex. And with that, we will let them live there as long as they're going through our programming, so they can be learning as they go. But we're giving them a place to stay. We want them to go on to college or trade school, further their education, and just believe in themselves, because we want to give them the building steps for them to just go with it. Whatever direction they want to go with. But if we set those little steps in place, then they can go from there.
That's incredible. So I love that you're making a difference and that you have these plans, and they're big plans.
Yes.
So tell us how, as a community and as people that love to make a difference, how we can help you. What can we do to help you move along with your plans and to do more for these kids?
One big help is just word of mouth, just helping me get the mission out there, get the view out there, and just helping me spread Temporary Home around. It's needed everywhere. That's the amazing thing about this, is every city needs this. Every
Yes, they do.
child aging out of foster care needs this. They need the support. And so I love that. I love that fact. It's powerful in itself. So I need help as far as that goes. Obviously, funding is always needed for nonprofit
So
work.
yeah, we can't make an apartment complex without money. So
Yes.
donations are a big way that you can make a difference for the Temporary
Yes.
Home Foundation. And tell us where we can go to find out more information. Tell them where we can go to donate.
Perfect.
And give them some details.
I have a Facebook page set up, and it's Temporary Home, and there'll be a picture of the book, so that's on there. And you can go to www.thetemporaryhomefoundation.org. That's our website, and we have all of our information up there. And people need to realize that any donation is greatly appreciated, whether it's $5, $10. It doesn't need to be, when people think donations, sometimes they think hundreds or thousands, or
Right.
anything helps. Anything goes a long
Right.
way. That's the most amazing thing.
We were at an event together, and it was the dollars and $5 and $10 that added up to, what did we raise, $800?
Over $800. And I am so thankful for that. It was incredible.
Well, and it started out as just this little tiny, okay, if you come in late, you owe $1.
Yes.
And it became this little fun thing that was just going to be $1, and yet it was $800. So every little bit helps.
It
and
does.
Maybe you have $20 now, maybe in a couple months you have $20. Like, the foundation is there. There's great things coming with it. And you have a whole board of directors and everything in place, and this is just phenomenal that you're able to make this difference.
Thank you.
Go to our website. There'll be places for you to donate, ways for you to get involved. And you were talking about that there's even going to be like a monthly subscription that you'll be adding
Yes.
soon. So watch for that on her website as well. And look everywhere for Shaylee Hatch, because she is going to be out there. You will get to know her. She is phenomenal, and
Thank
she will
you.
continue to be on the All Things Possible site as well, and with our TV station on our blog, and you can go there and donate as well. We'll have a little link that you can donate on our stuff as well for that. So why don't you tell me, you've had some pretty big supporters, and you've had some pretty good people to wrap their arms around your cause and what's happening. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
I have felt so blessed in that area so far. Well, first off is my community. without the community, I would not have been able to raise the money that I raised for those other two things. People are so giving, and I can't express how grateful I am for all of those who gave, whether it was $5, $10, a couple dollars, any of that. It's incredible.
And here locally in Utah, you've had some supporters.
Yes, I am so thrilled about the support I've got here in Utah. Tiffany Walk-Peterson from Salt Lake City, Utah, is a big inspiration to me, and she has helped me so much. So thankful for her, and she's helped me learn more about my passion and how to put it out there and how to be more successful in my life. And that's going to be huge for Temporary Home in itself, because I need to lead myself to lead others. And she's really teaching me how to do that, and that's been incredible.
Yeah, Tiffany is a fantastic mentor, and she just has the energy around her to really make a huge difference and a big impact. So she's a great one to have as a source and a mentor to move you forward and to give you some direction and really channel that forward momentum. She's phenomenal that way.
Exactly. Yes, she definitely is.
So that's awesome to have her in your back pocket too.
Yes.
That is neat. And as a community in All Things Possible, we are so excited to have you aboard with us and to be able to support you in this as well. It's a passion for us, and things that I teach are to make a decision, to move forward, to have committed action, and to serve. Those are things that I teach all the time, and you'll see more of if you haven't seen episodes in the past. So those are really, really strong things. You're living the things I'm teaching, and that's so cool to see.
Thank you.
And see the impact that you're having for so many. So welcome to Utah.
Thank you.
And also to All Things Possible, and we're so excited to embrace your cause and to help you raise money and to make a difference. Okay, so there's a way for you to make a difference. You can go to her website, and you'll see it also on the screen, but tell us your website address.
www.thetemporaryhomefoundation.org.
Okay, so I'm going to remind you, that's thetemporaryhomefoundation.org, because we always want to put that .com, so remember .org. And they can find a place to donate, and we will have those links available for you. It's exciting to have a community embrace your goals as well as making a difference for others. If you could tell all of the youth or young adults, what would you tell them? Like, what's the one thing that you would like to tell others that are your age, maybe a little bit older? What could they do? How could they make a difference?
My biggest advice as far as that would be that success is a choice. It's a decision. For me, that was hard to realize at first. And when I realized and I got that in my head, everything just went into place. Everything. You need to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, you won't be able to lead others. Right. So just knowing that you can be successful, regardless of where you come from, regardless of where you think you're stuck in life or any of that. I'm still going to college, so I don't have thousands of dollars, to pay for any of the, my own nonprofit, that kind of stuff. But you make it happen because you're passionate about something. If you love something, do it. Just do it. If you know the why, that's it. That's all you need is the why. How will come.
That is so perfect. And I love that you said it's a choice. And just commit and do it. Decide. A lot of times we don't decide. And once we make a decision and we choose to do something and move forward, it's amazing how things will come into place. And the universe wants to support us in that. Yes. So once you start something, you have the ability to really change lives and to move forward. So thank you again for being on our show and for making a difference for those kids, because I know that those 18-year-olds need somewhere to have the education and have those things that you are providing for them. So way to make a difference in this world.
Thank you.
Your ripple is going out so far, and you're amazing. Thank you so much, Shaylee. I just absolutely love you, and I'm so excited to have met her and to see all the wonderful things she's doing in our world and the difference that she's making. And just I wish you all the success in the world, and we will see you again. It will be fun to have you another time on our show. So thank you for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. This is an amazing experience.
And make sure and join us again next time for our next episode of All Things Possible TV. Thanks for being with us today. Bye-bye.